Hello, amazing fourth graders. It's Mr. Torbain here for lesson 4.9. The title of today's lesson is Model Division with Regrouping. Ooh, we've been regrouping since the first grade, so I'm really excited about today's lesson. Please follow along as I read our essential question. The question reads, how can you use base 10 blocks to model division with regrouping? So I have an example that I'm going to show you with our base 10 blocks. If you need base 10 blocks anytime throughout the lesson, please make sure that you grab them from your classroom. So follow along as I read this question right here. It reads, the librarian wants to share 54 books equally among 3 classes. Notice how I'm using cubes as I work through this problem. How many books will she give to each class? There's some important words right here. Share and equally. Those are the words that let me know that this is going to be a division problem. When I'm sharing something, I'm splitting it up and I'm getting smaller, but I'm not taking anything away. So instead of subtraction, I'm dividing. And if I share them equally, that's another hint that tells me that I'm dividing. Okay, so give me a second while I get my base 10 blocks and my whiteboard. All right, y'all know Mr. Torbain works very quickly. So here I have my equation, 54 divided by 3. And I have 54 base 10 blocks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, to represent the total number of library books that the librarian wants to share. Now she wants to share those with 3 classes. So I have some space for the first class, second class, and the third class. And we're going to share those. First, I want to start with the 10s. So I'm going to take a 10, and I'm going to share them equally. Now remember, equally is a key word. When we divide, we want to make equal groups. It's not fair if one class gets more books than the other. And you'll see I only have 2 10s over here, so I can't share those equally. Remember, in today's lesson, we are regrouping. And what regrouping means is changing one of these 10s out for the exact same value, but just shown a little bit differently. So here I have 10 ones, okay? So I regroup 1 10 for 10 ones, and I need to do the same with this other set of 10s. So here I have 10 more ones. And in total, I have 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 24 ones. I didn't change the amount, I just changed how they are grouped. So now I can share each one of the rest of my base 10 blocks equally. And I'm going to continue doing that. Let's speed. As you can see, I have gotten rid of all of my library books or base 10 blocks, and I've shared them equally. Take a look and see each one of these groups is equal. Now in each one of these groups, let's see how much we have. I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And as you can see, since all the groups are equal, it is 18. So 18 is my quotient or the answer to a division problem. And because they were able to be shared equally, there aren't any base 10 blocks left over. This problem does not have a remainder. So how many books will the librarian give to each class? She will give 18 books to each class. Now that we've taken a look at an example using our base 10 blocks, let's go ahead and move to our interactive notebook. Make sure that you have lesson 9 glued into your interactive notebook. And we're going to take some time to write down our I can statement. Your I can statement is, I can use base 10 blocks to model division with regrouping. Please pause the video and write your I can statement. Thank you for pausing the video. Now let's take a look at an example of a division problem. And instead of using our base 10 blocks, we actually have a visual model or picture right here. So we have 37 divided by 2. Now, we have 37 base 10 blocks. That's our dividend, or the number that is being divided in a division problem. It's this larger number right here, okay? So we have 37 of our base 10 blocks. And we are dividing them into 2 equal groups. That 2 is our divisor. So you see how there's 1 group and 2 group right here. And the divisor is the number that divides the dividend. So it's the smaller number, okay? So dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. You need the base 10 blocks for your dividend, and you are going to make the same number of groups as your divisor when using this strategy. So let's go ahead, just like we did in the example I showed you before, and let's use these tens. So here I have one 10 that I'm going to share and a second 10. Now remember, since there's an unequal amount of 10s left over and I can't share them equally with these groups, I need to regroup this. So I'm going to cross this out and change it for 10 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so here I have 10 ones plus 7 ones, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and I have 17 ones right there. So let's go ahead and share those equally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have one more left over, and I can't share that equally. So it looks like we have our first problem with a remainder. So a remainder is the amount left over when a number cannot be divided equally. So we should have known that because 2 is an even number and 37 is not even. So 37 divided by 2, let's take a look at how many are in each group. I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And let me cross that out so it doesn't confuse you. Okay, so we have 18 in each one of these groups. All right, the same number here. And there's one left over, so I'll write remainder 1. Now, in your interactive notebook, just like I did, I want you to pause the video and try 42 divided by 3 and 17 divided by 4. Now remember, you can pause the video and you can rewatch any of the examples that I've gone over if you need more help. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, try 42 divided by 3 and 17 divided by 4. Thank you for pausing the video. Let's take a look and see if you got the correct quotient. 42 divided by 3 is 14. You should have regrouped one of the 10s, had 12 ones that are shared equally. So no remainder for that problem. All right, and the last one, 17 divided by 4 should have given you 4 with one base 10 block. That was the oddball out. That 10 couldn't be shared with the 4 groups, so you should have regrouped it for 10 ones and just shared the ones equally, 4 in each group. That's our whole number quotient with one left over as a remainder. You are amazing. I just want to show you one more example from your GoMath workbook. I'm on page 249, and I want to show you number 4. Please follow along as I read the instructions. Divide. Draw a quick picture. Record the steps. So here, I have 84 divided by 3. My dividend, or my larger number, 84, I'm going to represent with my visual of the base 10 blocks. And my smaller number, or my divisor, will be my equal groups. 1, 2, 3 equal groups. Now, some of you may have seen division represented like this, where your dividend goes in the house, and the divisor goes underneath the visor outside of the house. Okay, so what you're doing today is helping you better understand and how to solve long division, which we will do in a later lesson. So here I have 84, and I'm going to share those with 3 groups: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So I have 2 10s left over. I can't share those with the 3 groups. So let's go over here to 84 divided by 3. What goes above here is the 10s in each group. So I have 2 10s in each one of these groups. 8 divided by 3 equals 2. 2 times 3 is 6, or how many 10s were used. So 2, 4, and 6 10s were used. So how many 10s are left over? There's 1, 2 10s left over. All right, let's keep going. So I'm going to change this out and regroup them for 10 more ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the same thing with this other 10. Let's regroup it for 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So now, since I had 4 ones to begin with, and I have 2 plus 20 more ones, now I know that I have 24 ones. So I have 24 ones, and look at what happens over here. If I bring down the 4 in the ones place, now I have 24 ones to share, just like that. Okay, 24 ones to share. And I know it's kind of hard to see with the glare. Sorry about that. So 24 ones to share. So let's go ahead and share those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now, 21, 22, 23, and 24, I have enough to share. So 22, 23, and 24. Okay, so I used all of my ones. Ones used, all 24. So I subtract 24. And when I subtract, that'll be how many ones are left over. Well, 24 minus 24 is 0. And look over here. I used all 24 of my ones. So 84 divided by 3. Let's go and see how many I have in each group. So I have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. So 8 ones, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 ones. 84 divided by 3 is equal to 28 with no remainder.